Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Sri Tapovana Sishyaya Namaha Hari Om. We are doing Ishavasya Upanishad. So let us first chant the Shanti Mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we have missed a couple of classes because of the holidays and Dasara. So many of you may have actually forgotten what we start. So very briefly, I will cover what we covered and then we will move on. We have done the first mantra of the Ishavasya and also had elaborate introduction of the Ishavasya Upanishad, and also we explained this meaning of the Shanti Patha already. We had 3 classes. So basically, Ishavasya Upanishad fundamentally has 3 key messages. Okay, just overview, broad overview. 3 key messages. First one is God pervades the whole universe. That is Ekam, that God is only one. Nityam, eternal. Satyam, only truth. Saram means the essence of the total existence. That is the definition of God. Ishavashyam idam sarvam etkinchit jagatyam jagat. In the whole world, the whole universe, whatever comes and goes is all within God. Only God is real. Everything that comes and goes is not real, it's just an appearance. That's first message. The second message is to practice, to achieve that vision that I am within God. World is also within God. Only God is real. I do not exist. The world doesn't also exist. That vision, there are two methods. Nistha, it is called. One is Pravrutti Marga, another is Nivrutti Marga. This is the second and third. Nivrutti Marga means those whose mental tendencies have decreased to an extent, he is not following the various changes in the world. Vrutti means thoughts. That comes and goes is a thought. Nivrutti means without thoughts. Fundamentally, he has achieved a state of being and awareness where he is self-sufficient in himself by himself. Atmani eva atmana tustaha. That state of pure essence and being, he is so established in it. Vrutti means thoughts don't arise. Naturally, they don't arise. Because he has negated their effects. He does not seek anything out of the projections in the mind by perpetuating thoughts. He doesn't get anything. He knows it is just only appearance. It has no reality unless I give reality to my thoughts. He's so clear. That is Nivritti. Nivritti Marga. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says first mantra, Ishavasya, Tena Tyaktena Bunjitaha Maghuta Kasyasid Dhanam. The second line of the first mantra. He says it is for those who are established in Nivritti Marga. Means they don't go after Sankalpa. They don't invoke thoughts for happiness. They do transact, they do talk, but it is not out of compulsion, but out of necessity to deal with the world. So, in such state of being, Bhagavan Shankaracharya actually says karma is an obstacle. Don't promote it. Very fascinating statement. I read the Bhashya last week. Because in fact, karma itself is a obstacle for such nivritti, sannyasis, he calls it. The second lifestyle, first lifestyle is nivritti, those who establish in self, isha. Second is pravritti marga. This is only three messages in the whole Upanishad. The second one is those who are not able to establish or not currently established in that state of pure essential being and awareness, Sat and Chit. For such people, pravritti is their nature. They have no choice. So pravritti marga means using karma yoga and upasana. Upasana means bhakti, you can call it, or meditation, you can call it. Combining these two, you can grow to purify your mind, to purify, increase your ability to detach. By meditation, what is meditation? Is the ability to detach and attach. So the combination of karma yoga and upasana will strengthen your ability to detach and attach. And samatva. So that is pravritti marga. You take some thought process, but prescribed by the scriptures. Dharma, it is called. Not ardha kama, it's nishkama, and also dharma, as suggested by the scriptures. For pravritti marga, you can train yourself to grow out and then gradually be ready for Jnana marga. Okay, only three messages. So that's it. Now the first mantra is directly for those who have already established in Nivritti Marga. So for them, Tena Tyaktena Bunjitaha. Tena, with the knowledge, Ishavasya Sarvam. Yatkinchit Jagatyam Jagat. Whatever is in the universe is pervaded by God. With that clarity, Tena Tyaktena, you now renounce what is not real. What is not real? Exact opposite of what is real. So earlier what I said, what is real is that which is one, essence, eternal, and truth. Unreal is exact opposite. It's many. Like you, I, me, my people, situations in the world, objects, all these things. And then asaram, they do not have essential reality unless you give reality. This is important point. Unless you come first, your thoughts don't arise. Unless I am there, mine, M-I-N-E, mine is not there. I is pure awareness, consciousness. But you never know because you are caught in the vrittis. Vrittis means thoughts. So asaram, the asaram means it has no essence until you provide it. You are atmani atmana tusta. If you have that realization, you don't need the world. You can only use the world just for transaction. Anityam, the world is always changing, including your mind. Only your Atma does not change. And also, untruth. It depends upon you. We have gotten used to the vritti so much so, we don't even understand the statement, world depends upon you. Your happiness never depends upon the objects. But we have so conditioned ourselves, we cannot but even question that statement. Okay. So our pravritti marg is, so first mantra is tena tektena bunjita. What do you renounce? Changing stuff, anitya. Then bunjita, enjoy yourself, atmani eva atmana tustaha. Be yourself by yourself and be complete and peaceful and also secure. Magrutaha kasyasvid dhanam. Do not covet possessions, either yours or others, because they don't have any value by themselves unless you give it. Once you realize they don't have value, then you automatically you can enjoy the world as it is without any projections. In one of the earlier classes, I mentioned, to prove the point, I said if you take a biscuit, a golden biscuit and a regular biscuit, both of them look the same, but obviously golden biscuit we obviously will choose, but a child will choose the chocolate biscuit. So it's not in the object, it is in the mind. A dog will choose the biscuit, real biscuit, not gold biscuit. So basically, it is always in the mind only. And you project unhappiness and then you try to get happiness by getting something outside. Initially, you're happy, but then you project, unless I have that, I'm not happy. And then you go after it, and then you get it, and your mind becomes temporarily quiet. And then you think the object gave you happiness. But reality is, it was happy to start with. Disturbed it and then made it quiet. Okay. So this is the very quick summary of what we covered. So there are two subtle points. I will also add them and then we'll move on. The Nishtadvayam. Nishtadvayam means the lifestyles. Lifestyle can be sannyasa. Means you renounce the world. This is a very important topic in the Vedic times, in Ishavasya Upanishad also. Bhagavad Gita chapter 5 starts with that question by Arjuna. I will take few slokas, right? Because Bhagavad Gita and Ishavasya only has 18 verses. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. In the beginning, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, in the Bhashya introduction of Bhagavad Gita, he said there are two, Pravritti Dharma, Nivritti Dharma. Ishavasya first mantra is Nivritti, second mantra is Pravritti. So that Nivritti is sannyasa. Shankaracharya takes the sannyasa. Sannyasa means renunciation. What is renunciation? We do not have yeshanatraya. Yeshanatraya means putreshana. I want to perpetuate my existence through my children. Genetically, that weakness is there. You want to perpetuate your. presence on this sphere, physical sphere. Putreshana, that's what it's called. Our rishis have put it together in three. Putreshana. Second one is Vitteshana. Vitta means money, literally, but actually in this context, security. Third one is Lokeshana. After this body, I want to be in higher world, in Swarga, for a long, long, long time. I will do dharma for that purpose. So you mentally, you have imagined something and you want to feel that security now. You are imagining you are not happy now. Nivritti Marga says you are happy now, right now. You are already happy. Jnana, you are mistaken through ignorance. So sannyasi does not depend upon these three. Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. Because he is not depending upon thoughts or brainwashing by somebody else. You are a sinner, that kind of thing. Then the second one is sannyasi has no responsibilities in the world, like possessions, obligations, transactions. Once you are in the worldly life, you got to give and take. Some people give you gifts, you got to reciprocate. Some they come to your birthday party, you got to go to their birthday party. Like this, they are endless. And then you have to earn, and then you have to protect. Things go up and down. You also mind goes up and down. So sannyasi does not have these. He walks out of the life, and he only focused on spiritual sadhana, shravana, manana, nididhyasana. This is a very important lifestyle in Vedic times. Even now, youngsters, one of my nephews, he was studying at IIT Madras, but he got inspired and then he was thinking to renounce. This was 45 years ago. His father had to convince him because my nephews, my cousin's son, he has very good scholar, childhood, Sanskrit, it is matriculation in PUC. So, and Bhajagovindam and Vek Chudamani, all these things he studied. And then he said, this life is just waste. Let me revel in godliness. So it happens at young age to some people. But Bhagavan Krishna says for most people it's not. It's not that. You should not go on the path of renunciation. I'm talking about the two lifestyles. One is renounce and then focus only on spiritual Jnana Marga. Sravana, Manana, Nityadyasana. You have no responsibilities. Even Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma are also not there. Plus social life also, yeah. But then it comes with a baggage. You got to you have to take care of yourself. You have no security, nobody there to look after you if you're sick. Others. But that's you are ready for that. So that's what sannyasana. Then first lifestyle. Second lifestyle is Gurhastha. Gurhastha means you have responsibilities, but you have to live according to dharma. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says first mantra is for those who are sannyasis. Or Chinmaya Mission and many of the latest those who are mentally renounced. It is not physical renunciation, but in the context of Shankara Bhashya, is a physical renunciation also he takes. Primarily he takes a physical renunciation. But many of the modern commentators say it's not physical renunciation. Physical renunciation can be mentioned, but it is only a mental clarity that happiness is not in the world. And then live according to that. Okay, lifestyle. So that is also sannyasa. According to Krishna also, that is sannyasa also. Actually, I will read one of the slokas, but before I go there, So he also says second lifestyle is Grihastha. Grihastha means doing karma yoga and upasana and then taking care of the social responsibilities, but do not get attached to them by mentally dwelling on those. And how to do that? By doing karma yoga and also upasana yoga. That is for the second. So I will quote Bhagavad Gita after I do the second mantra. That way context become more clear. Let us do the second mantra now. Yes. कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतकं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे. I will chant again. कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतकं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे. Okay. For those who are not already in a state of clarity that objects do not give happiness, happiness is a nature, and who do not indulge in thoughts, that's different. First sloka, first mantra. But for those who are compulsively thinking about thoughts, thinking about the happiness outside, that kind of people, these are the Madhyamadhikari. Second mantra is said. What it is saying? Kurvan eva iha karmani. Doing actions only here. Jijivishet. You desire to live. Satagam samaha. 100 years. Here, the injunction is kurvan. You while doing only, the injunction is not to live 100 years. That's not the injunction. Injunction is kurvan eveha karmani jijivishet. Satakam samaha. The word satakam samaha means you live 100 years. 100 years is one of the common statements because humans are meant to live as a lifespan about the maximum that 100 years. If you live a healthy life. In that context, it is mentioned. The more important point here is whatever lifespan you have, kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet. Here karmani should be taken in the overall context of this Upanishad. I mentioned in the introduction, Ishavasya uses some words that are not directly translatable by dictionary meaning. That's why we don't do Ishavasya Upanishad in the beginning. We do Mundaka, Kena, Katha. We did also chapter 6 of Chandogya. But Ishavasya is a little bit tricky in that context. That's why we did not do it in the beginning. So here, Kurvan is not just literal meaning is doing actions only, it's not. It means living dharmic life of karma yoga and upasana. Now a question will come, how do you know Subrahmanyam Cheruvu? How you try? In the context, if you follow the Upanishad, first mantra is Jnana, second mantra is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga includes Upasana and Bhakti Yoga also. Then the first mantra, they are in a sutra form. Then they are elaborated from mantra number 3 to number 8. Jnana Yoga is elaborated. That's how the context. Then Karma Yoga, which is number 2, is elaborated after 9th verse. So that's why Mahatmas, when they write the commentary, they give you the total perspective. In the context of the Upanishad, the way it progresses, that's what it is. Here Kurvan Eva means doing Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga or Upasana Yoga. Jiji wishes, you live 100 years. Just don't live a mundane life. You have a purpose. What is the purpose? Purify yourself. So, what Karma Yoga does, basically, Karma Yoga, fundamental principle of Karma Yoga is Sarvam Paragatam Dukkham, or Sarvam Para Adhinam Dukkham, Sarvam Swa Adhinam Sukham. Simple way, Karma Yoga. Anything you depend upon that which is not in your control. What is that? A result is not in your control. You work, but result is not in your control. Result is para adhinam. Outside you. Factors, there are so many factors. You think you will get a promotion, but then there are other factors in the department that you do not know. They have their own budget. You end up actually losing job. So who knows? So whatever, so basically Karma Yoga says you do karmanyavadhikaraste. Your duty is to only work. Ma karma phaleshu kadachana. It's not in the result. So why result is paradhinam. But that does not mean you don't work. You do what you have to do. Swaadhinam sukham. If you complete your duty, for a longer time you will be employed. Just example, same thing with children also. You got to do your duty, whatever comes you accept it. Then you learn from it. But if you are stressed out, you actually give up. So sarvam paradhinam dukkham. Basic principle of karma. Whatever is in your control, you have to do it. You get stronger, you get clarity. Because you don't think about others, then you actually plan better and you execute better. What does it do for you in life? It gives you samatvam. Bhagavan Krishna says, chapter 2, samatvam yoga uchyate. Karma yoga, one definition he gives is samatvam. What is the reason for disturbance? Samatvam means equanimity. What is the reason for not having equanimity? Because we are thinking too much about things which are not in your control. The quantity of thoughts multiplies. Our Gurudev Swami Chinmaya says, Karma Yoga reduces the number of thoughts, he used to say. Excuse me. Quantity decreases. In my life, I benefited tremendously by following this. It happened in my life. When I started attending Chinmaya Mission classes because I took my kids for Balavihar. And then Brahmachari Krishnamurti was taking classes. He used to be in New York City at that time. He was taking Atma Bodh. And then Karma Yoga, we listened to Swami Chinmayanji's talks. And he used to always say this, do your best, leave the rest. And now it hit me. And before that, I used to have trouble writing reports. I mean, but writing report, I used to do a lot of work, very productive, very well admired, but I would not write the reports. It was just not my nature. I used to feel too much drag on my head. But after I listened to Karma Yoga, I decided I will not let it bother me. I will just write it. In fact, my boss told me in a review, Subra, because of you, all of us are benefited, but you yourself are not, because you are not writing reports. We are all getting credit because managers and all that, they present your work, and then we are all benefiting tremendously. And this after Karma Yoga lectures, I actually started writing many, and I was promoted immediately. I'm not, it's not for promotion, but I felt so much better when I did not think about the problem, difficulty of writing. I'm a good writer actually, but just it's not my style. That's all. So the Karma Yoga actually works. Just don't worry, just do it. That's what Krishnamurtiji told us. So I really took it seriously, and then I transformed my thinking about myself and about my work, attitude towards my work. Second, Karma Yoga. So now the activity should be without stress on you, yourself. Okay, you have to do it, just do it. Sri Krishna says, this is a very important verse, very famous verse. So I like to, chapter 3, third chapter, 30th verse. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirasi nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigatajvaraha. He says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. With that clarity of my happiness is inside me, you perform your activities. Mai sarvani karma sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Karma does not mean anxiety, but just doing it. How can you just do it? Adhyatma chetasa. Thinking that it is his work. I will do my best. It's just an instrument. What should be the attitude? Nirasi nirmamo bhutva. Do not have expectations. Nirmamo. Do not have too much stress. That's what I was feeling. I thought it was not my nature. It's not Swadharma. Forget about Swadharma. Just do it. Because you got to do it. Nirmamo. That means, mama means mine. My mind. I am not happy. I am not comfortable. I don't like it. This kind of commentary, put it aside. Yuddhasva vigata jvaraha. Do not have any excitement in the project. Just do it. That is Karma Yoga. What is in your control, you just do it. That's it. You can write, just write. Yuddhasva means live life, fight out. In the context of Bhagavad Gita, Yuddhasva. In our life, as needed, you work without thinking too much because you already know what you got to do. Just do it. This reduces the too many thoughts in your mind. Past, future, present. Nirasi means future. Nirmamo means past. Vigata jvara means present condition. None of these, put them aside. Just, I will do my best, leave the rest to God. Adhyatma chetasa. Very famous verse. Probably the most important verse in Karma Yoga, chapter 3, 30th verse. If you want to just one mantra, quote is one sloka. Now, in the context of this mantra number 2, Karma Yoga includes Upasana also. Okay, so Upasana means meditation. So what is meditation? Dhyana. Usually dhyana includes certain preparations. If you take Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana. Dhyana comes in then, and Samadhi. So why people complain, how come I cannot meditate? Because you don't have Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdrawing your mind and senses from the world. It It is a sadhana. Dharana, ability to keep your mind on particular sakara or nirguna, Ishvara. Basically, upasana is two types. Saguna, sakara, like Rama, Krishna. Saguna, sakara. The second one is saguna, nirakara, like Ishvara. There is no form, but saguna. He is all pervading. He is the creator. I am the creator. Like this thought process is. Both are. They have to require your mind to be withdrawn from your preoccupations. So if you have yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, supporting your attempts, dhyana, samadhi becomes natural. Anyway, make that point. So what does this dhyana do? Dhyana does two things. Ability to detach and also attach. Ekagrata. Those who are at the drop of a hat, they can feel their presence, peaceful presence. They are ready. Bhagavan, God is not an object somewhere, it's right here. But your mind has to completely be quiet. Be itself, yourself. Just focus on the awareness principle in you. Not the aware of, but awareness itself. It's like space. It's all pervasive. That is available if you have a taste of it. That is upasana. A higher level of upasana. Puja is also upasana. Pradakshina and all these things are upasana only, but the physical level. Then at vachika level, japa and all this. At the mental level, that because saguna sakara or saguna nirakara. That you have that nirakara state of being. That's called being. Feeling yourself. Wherever, whenever. That means you are ready. In the class, you can drop everything other distractions. For cell phone, you forget. Rest of things forget. 1 hour, I am just be myself. And then you are concentrating. That's upasana. Sravana manana. So here, kurvanneveha karmani. Kurvan eva karmi. Karmani includes karma yoga and also upasana. Karma yoga reduces the number of thoughts because you don't live in the past or in the future or accept. And then you are living a certain samatva and do what is in your control effectively and do not worry about what is not in your control. That's karma yoga. I'm just summarizing it. And then upasana is observe certain lifestyle like yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara and all these things. And then the ability to develop concentration, ekagrata. These are meant for getting your mind ready. The second mantra is getting you are a pravurti margi. Your mind wants to think about stuff. So they will give you some avenue where you can clean up yourself and have a sense of only I and that, only two. And then you drop that. You become I and that become one. That is jnana. So evan tvai nanyadheto asti. The first line I complete kurvanneveha jijivishet satakam samaha. I explained in detail what is living 100 years means. 100 years means permitted lifespan. In the scriptures, it is common to say 100 years. Say saradam samaha, jijivishet saradam samaha. Pasyema saradasyatam. Jivema Saradasyatam. People, do the blessings like that. May you see 100 Sarad Rutus in your life. Each year one Sarad Rutu come. Right now we are in Sarad Rutu, by the way. Today is Paurnami, Sarad Paurnami. The moon is closest to us, Sarad Paurnami. I believe on this day Krishna did the Rasalila, if I am not mistaken. Jivema Saradasyatam. Live 100 years. 100 Saradaha means 100 Saradrutus means. So this is the normal standard. If we live good life, we have a proper dharmic life and also proper karma and all that, 100 years is allotted to us according to scriptures. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes in his commentary also, 100 years. So how do we do it? Dharmic life, karma yoga and also upasana yoga. Now the second line, evam tvayi nanyatho to asti. Itaha, here, evam tvayi na anyat asti. Evam tvayi, for a person like us, who our mind is projecting happiness in objects and which people or situations, such people like that, nanyat edha adha asti. There is no other way. Do karma yoga and upasana yoga. You follow me? So for grihasthas who are not ready to walk away, or pravritti is strong, for them you live a life of 100 years doing your duties in a sense of nishkama karma and also offering to God, and then do meditation as much as possible. Why nakarma lipyate nare? If you live life in that way, karma does not bind you. Otherwise, what happens? You create more vasanas. So take the example of my writing reports. It was actually creating more vasanas in me that I'm not writing. I'm thinking about it, not writing. But when you just do it, you don't think about it. And you also feel, I'm ready for the next. Get energized also. So nakarma lipyate nare. If you do live life with that kind of a surrender, you are not bound by actions. Actions don't bind you by themselves. They are not made to bind you. We project unhappiness, get ourselves bound by actions. Or project happiness. Katrutva, bhoktrutva, both of them. They bind us. So basically, I will quote few mantras, slokas from Bhagavad Gita. The reason is, directly Bhagavad Gita borrows these concepts from Ishavasya Upanishad. And common questions are also asked by Arjuna because of the same reason, because he gets confused just like we even. So in chapter 5, it's called Karma Sannyasa Yoga. It opens up with a question by Arjuna. He says, Arjuna Vacha, Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna, Punar Yogam sa Samshasi, Yachreya Etayoho Ekam, Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam. Sannyasa means walking away. Just you are not mentally, you did not leave mentally, but you just physically left. It's called Vividisha Sannyasa, it's called. In anticipation of I will spend full time in Shravanamana Nidhyasana, and the world is a distraction for me, you leave. That's called Vividisha Sannyasa. And that's one. Punar Yogam se Samsasi. Karma Yoga is the second. between these two, what is more appropriate? Tanme Shreya etayoho ekam tat me bruhi sunishchitam. You explain to me which is better between these two. See, this is the same topic here. So Bhagavad Gita runs kind of, whereas Upanishad is very concise, Bhagavad Gita is expansion in the modern context. Krishna answers, Sanyasaha karma yogascha nishreyasa kara ubhav. Tayostu karma sanyasat karma yogo visishyate. He says, Arjuna, both sannyasa and karma yoga, both of them are helpful. Basically, why you have an attitude you want to grow. Your attitude is correct. But what lifestyle is the question here? So, sannyasa karma yogasya nishreyasa kara ubhav. Both of them can be beneficial. Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo visishyate. In between, among these two, if you ask me, renouncing action physically is not as good as doing karma yoga. See, basically, karma yoga is not just walking away from karma, but doing it with a proper attitude. Karma, you are transforming karma to karma yoga. It is only possible by changing the attitude and then purify yourself. Then karma doesn't bind you. Otherwise, you walk away and then you are bothered by what is happening in my house, what is happening to my kids, what is happening to my investments. It is worse. Mentally, you have not left. He concludes this by, and then beautiful slokas are there in Bhagavad Gita chapter 5 in the beginning. But I will only make a key points I am reading. Number 6, he concludes saying the sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachareda adhigachyati. I will read it again. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nacharena adhigachyati. Ayogataha, if you are not purified by doing karma yoga, sannyasa creates a lot of sorrow. Because your mind, you left the world physically, you cannot go back. But your mind is in the world. You went to Himalayas, but your mind is on the cell phones and in your, in Hyderabad streets, or Chennai streets, or Mumbai streets, or Delhi streets. It's dukkham. Now you are asking everybody what is happening there, what is the politics, what is happening in, in international arena, who is the president of India. All these things only you are trained yourself. How can you be happy there? So then he says, Krishna, yoga yukto muni brahma nacharenadi gacchati. If you have the yoga yuktaha, means that the attitude of not being attached to work while working. You do whatever is in your control. Forget about whatever is not in your control. That's why you train your mind. Yoga yukto muni brahma acharenadi gacchati. Those who practice the karma yoga and upasana also, brahma acharenadi gacchati. They actually realize quickly. Acharena means fast. Adhigachyati, easily they get. So basically our attitude while living has to be changed. When you are working in the family, outside, inside, have that attitude of surrender. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. I paint the house. I did that. Just stop thinking about too much. Just do it. Mow the lawn. Krishna, Krishna. Don't carry baggage. One of the saints used to say, you convert all the coins into rupees. That is Karma Yoga. There are so many coins, pennies and all. Just convert them into a small, check or $100. Light. Karma Yoga, exactly that. You don't carry load here. You just do the hands and then offer it to God. Results. Prasada Buddhi, it's called. The one more sloka is very famous sloka. Bhagavad Gita normally does not have too many um, examples. You know, very Krishna doesn't use too many, but this one is a famous example. Brahmanyadaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sa papena padmapatramivambhasa. This is directly copied from the spirit is directly copied from the Kurvanneveha Karmani, the second mantra I read, this sloka. What it says? Brahmanyadaya karmani. You leaving the results to Brahman is God in this context. Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha. Who works without being attached oneself with the results. Lipyate nasa papena. He does not get touched by the sin of burden in the mind. Papa in this context take it as a burden in the mind, anxiety, stress. How Padmapatra Mivambhasa. Just like a lotus leaf in the water. The water comes and goes, but it just rolls away from it. Does not get lipyate, does not get wet. Very similar to nakarma lipyate nare. That's in the mantra, last quarter is nakarma lipyate is here. Lipyate nasa papena padmapatra mivambhasa. One more sloka I read, chapter 35 only. Because karma sannyasa yoga, contrast between karma and sannyasa. Karma means pravrutti. Sannyasa means nivrutti. Marga, lifestyle. Goal is for both of them, the goal is sadhana for jnana only. Result is the same. We're looking for that eternal, ever-present one happiness. Nitya, Satya, Sara, Eka. I started the pravachan with that. Same. So one more sloka. These are very famous slokas. I just want to couple of beautiful slokas is that Yuktaha karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naistikim. Ayuktaha kamakarena phale saktaha nibadhyate. Chapter 5, verse number 12. Yuktaha means the one who is not thinking in the future or the past or excited in the present, but who is just samatva. You are the yuktaha, that karma phalam tyaktva, not worried about the anxieties produced by karma. Shantim apnoti naistikim. He achieves pure peace. Naistikim, permanent. Ayuktaha, those who are shattered mentally, constantly worried about this, that. Kamakarena, because of their mental desires, stress, insecurities, fears, phale sakto nibhadyate. They continue to be bound through that attachment. Nakarma lipyate nare. All these things are essentially directly reflected in these slokas in Bhagavad Gita, So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's commentary also is very, very clear on this because the I will read some. Kurvataha vartamanat prakarat anyatha prakarantaram na asti yena prakarena asubham karma na lipyate karmana na lipyate iti arthaha. अतः शास्त्रविहितानि कर्माणि अग्निहोत्रादानि कुर्वन्येव जिजीविषेत्. He Shankaracharya he clearly writes here dharmic. See, those days Agnihotra and all this pancha yajnas and all that are primarily highlighted whenever they say karma, ritualistic day duties. Here in the modern context, we have to basically, Sri Krishna also emphasizes that focus on not worrying about the result. Now, the reason those days Agnihotra all these are mentioned is they are lokeshana. They are driven by desire for higher worlds. So that is not should be, Nishkama should be your motive. Here somebody asks a question. I mean, Shankaracharya also raises some questions and answers them. The question is asked of him, Kadham punaha idam avagamyate purvena sannyasinaha jnananishta ukta dvitiyena tad asaktasya karmanishta. The person asking question, how could you say this? First mantra is for those who are ready to renounce, and second one is for those who do not want. How can you say that? You just draw a two solid line between them. How can you say that? Then Shankaracharya answers. Basically, he says, if your mind is not disturbed by vritti, then vritti, the thought of doing something is unnecessary for you. That is actually a problem for you. If you are already established for Ramana Maharshi, you tell him to do work. So Jnani is, Shankaracharya is very clear. Jnani and karma samuchaya is not possible. Because karma requires thought. The thought also with a desire to get something. Then you are depending upon the world. But Jnani is fundamentally, his mind is not inclined for pravurti. So why? So it is like this is like a mountain. The difference between them is as clear as sound as a mountain. He says, starting. So basically, what he's talking about, the state of pure presence. If you are ready to enjoy, then work can be distraction for you because you are already atmaneva atmanatustaha. That state. So Shankaracharya, in that state, karma is an obstacle to remain in that state. Sarvatra Samadarshinaha, chapter 6, Krishna says. And for them, the karma is a distraction because now you're. But in that state, you can do work because you are not dependent upon it. But if you're trying to get there and you're already quite close to it, don't worry about work or don't worry about the nitya karma, Agnihotra, these things, don't worry about it. He says. That's what Bhagavan Krishna says. Anyway, so fundamentally, that's why he again explains, it's very clearly mentioned in the Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita, that they don't go together. But one more thing you have to, before we conclude, one thing I want to mention. Shankaracharya, Bhagavan has no problem if you are not ready for jnana, revel in yourself by yourself, then karma and upasana are needed. Second mantra is required. So krama, first karma yoga and upasana to prepare yourself, and then jnana. Krama samuchaya, he has no issue. In fact, he strongly advocates it. Krishna also strongly advocates it. On the other hand, if you are here already and your mind is already pulled in the direction of oneness, don't add multiplicity and confuse. That's what he said. Jnana and karma do not go together at the final stage, like Ramana Maharshi. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम